I want to talk about a subject that not a lot of people talk about in this industry, and it's really the long game, I guess you could say. Now, what is the long game, in my view? I view this industry of coaching and consulting as the next form of education. People aren't investing into colleges and universities anymore. They're investing into coaches that they see on Instagram that are doing what they actually want. Instead of paying for a overpriced tuition to learn from a professor that hates their life and has never done what the person wants to do in the first place, right? So with that being said, I have built my career off of providing genuine value. And if you know me and if you're watching this video, then you know that to be true. I've never posted on social media in my life on Instagram about what I do and what I'm selling and my services. I have a school community, I have YouTube, but I've never put myself out there. Everything has been off of goodwill. Okay? And I've understood this approach since I got into this industry 5 years ago that it's not necessarily about making money in the first 5 to 10 years, especially in this industry. It's about building the relationships that will then make me the money in the future. And a lot of people here in this industry talk about making money quick, scaling your business to 100K a month, 500K a month, but they neglect building the key relationships that are going to keep them in this industry long term. Okay? The reason why most coaches fall out of in this industry, and the reason why most people from whenever I started 5 years ago aren't in this industry is because they are greedy. They're focusing on making money and pushing people to be uncomfortable rather than focusing on building relationships over revenue. The reason why that I'm able to get access to the biggest rooms in the industry, and the reason why I've been picked and chosen to manage some of the biggest teams in the industry and be chosen to work on some of the biggest projects is super simple. I didn't push anyone to do anything that they didn't want to do. And I was so detached from most of my conversations from people that I've met in communities and that I've met through these, businesses that I've worked with, that people just have built relationships with me and has viewed me as an individual that is competent, that is detached. Okay, and I'm gonna get a little bit more into that into just a second here. But one thing I just want to emphasize and get into your guys' brain that is if you're watching this channel, it's probably because you're maybe young, maybe you're a little bit older, but you're probably ambitious and you want to know how to not only make money in this online space, but work for the top businesses and have a real long-term impact and actually help people, right? Not just make a 10, 20K a month, you know, yearly salary, 120K, 200K a year as a closer. Like you want to be in this industry for long run. If that's you, okay, I want to emphasize that every small connection that you make right now is super, super important, okay? The reason why most people fail is because they're so focused on learning sales tactics and manipulation skills. Because if we're being real, that's really what they are. They're manipulation skills. And you can make the argument by saying, hey, these people on the other end of the marketing or the sales call, they need the change and I'm helping them get out of their own way. But a lot of the times, if you look at some of the top coaches and people that I'm just going to say it, like I've known them, I've worked with them, they're not having those ethical practices, right? And that's just how it is, right? And then they translate those tactics and those things into other relationships in their life. I could only assume, not just the people that I know, but people what I've seen that have had a lot of success that do these things. And because they're this way with prospects and all they value is maximizing capital and transactional value, they don't actually build real connections. And a lot of the times, the people that they coach don't actually go back to them. It's the truth, right? So the reason why I'm saying all of this is because, guys, there is a large chance that if you are in this industry, you probably lack real life experience. Maybe you went to college, maybe you didn't, but you don't have real raw business experience, okay? You guys need to get into roles and get into businesses as fast as possible as a sales rep to be able to learn from top people. But a lot of you here are very, very inexperienced, and it's okay because I still feel that way sometimes too, especially when it comes to business. But I cannot emphasize this enough, guys, okay? Surround yourself with the right people, okay? Surround yourself with people that do not value just transactional relationships, right? Because what you'll see compounded over time is that every time you connect with someone and you build relationships with someone in this space, over time, you will get more referrals and more people knowing about you just because you didn't push people when you weren't an asshole. Okay? I know I've made more money than most coaches and consultants ever would off of referrals and off of organic. I don't even have to post anything online because I just do good work and I don't push people. I make people come whenever they're ready. Like, I was trained directly by Jeremy Miner, right? Like, I was his DM setter. We were in very small, confined group calls with him. I've been coached by the best. I know I can go onto these calls and have this approach of, like, wanting to maximize my revenue and be revenue driven. But no, I want to build these relationships because I know where this industry is going. And I know that 10% of the people that I meet right now are going to be in this industry in the next 5 to 10 years. And those 10% of people are going to be the most powerful people in the industry. So why would I piss them off? Why would I try to sell them something? I just want to be there and be of service to them. Okay? My service is recruitment. If you know anything about me, I think anyone should position themselves as a recruitment agency. It's never been easier to know businesses that need sales talent, and it's never been easier to find sales talent. And it's such an easy leverage point. If you want to get into a certain circle and add value to someone, just give them a really good sales rep. Okay? Guys, think of it from a bigger picture than what you currently are. It's not all about making money from people. It's about where is this person at and where could they be and how can we benefit in 5 to 10 years, because that is how real wealth is made. Okay? It's not made through these transactional high-ticket sales courses and sales reps selling all these high-ticket products, because the chances are, because they built no relationships that weren't transactional, they're going to end up broke after something happens. Okay? So be it in the long term, build genuine relationships, and put yourself out there constantly. You don't have to build a brand to put yourself out there. You just have to put yourself in the right circles, in the right online communities, and be consistent. Hope this helps.